Hey guys, it's Stephanie.
I'm Trey.
This is your weekly dose of BS. We have a lot of really important things to talk about today.
Yeah, were you by chance on a flight from Atlanta to Barcelona this past week?
No, but I'm telling you.
You know where I'm going with this?
Yes. I did a deep dive. Travis woke me up a few days ago about this, and then you messaged me, and I was
Someone messaged me and was like, oh my God, is Stephanie okay? And I said, what? And then they sent me this article.
Yes. So, and of course I did a deep dive on TikTok. If you go to TikTok and do a deep dive, you can actually see the poopy on the plane, which is very exciting. Yes.
Okay, well, let me read you this People headline. It says, Delta flight diverted after passenger suffers severe case of diarrhea.
Yeah. It was not me. I would definitely be sharing it from the bleachers. I'd be so excited.
Basically, this flight returned back to Atlanta after an incident that was deemed a biohazard issue. What did you see on TikTok?
Okay, so this is what happened. Okay, so this person, I don't know what they ate or what happened, but first let me preface this is a very serious thing to me because I get bathroom anxiety before I get on planes. Not really about crapping my pants, but now it's a new anxiety that I didn't even know I had. But about like having to go, because I don't have a lot of bladder control, but having to go pee. If I am not in an aisle seat, then I get so stressed out that the person next to me is going to be sleeping. I'm going to have to pee. I'm going to pee my pants because I'm not going to wake them up.
Oh, I have no problem waking someone up.
I do. I hate waking people up if they're...
If I just want to walk...
I'm always on the aisle. Always on the aisle. If I'm at the window, I'm so stressed out and I always go potty right before I get on. If I even remotely felt like I had to poop that day, I would probably not even get on the plane. But I think what happened is this person obviously had a stomach virus because I've pooped my pants before, but not on a plane. I pooped my pants coming home from carpool before.
Okay, so they were 2 hours into the flight.
Yes.
Before they turned around.
Yes. And I saw a video and there is crap everywhere. I mean, they go on TikTok and look up Delta diarrhea. And there's poop everywhere. Somebody got a hold of footage. Thankfully, they didn't show the person. But there are also weirdos out there.
I want to see the person. Are you kidding me? I want to see their face.
There are people claiming it for their own. Like they're like, that was me.
A lot of people on TikTok are like, I am the Delta diarrhea.
Girl that sells jars of farts, she was like, that was me. Like she's she's going to sell some more fart jars because of this. But yes. She was on there claiming it was hers. But what's so funny is I obviously knew that she was the fart jar seller. So I knew she was doing it as a joke. But all these people with their comments, you get on there and read the comments. They're like, oh my God, girl, I'm so sorry. Like they were truly giving her all this sympathy, which I appreciate. If somebody has explosive diarrhea all over a plane, I appreciate I feel bad for this person. I cannot imagine. First of all, I wouldn't even exit off the plane. As soon as I had my crap all in the aisles, I would take the emergency exit with the plane and the air. I'd be like, I'm done. Like no getting my bags off. I would not. You would not even catch me anywhere near airport. I'd be so embarrassed.
Okay, so
there was crap everywhere. I mean, the aisles had explosive diarrhea all over them. And it took 2 hours for them to get back after they had to turn around. 2 hours.
I don't know why in the world the airline released this footage, but here is the audio of the pilot telling air traffic control that they are turning around.
Negative. It's just a biohazard issue. We've had a passenger who had diarrhea all the way through the airplane, so they want us to come back to Atlanta.
Delta heard that and said, we got to release that.
Yeah.
So someone on Twitter commented and said, my partner was on that flight. It was pretty bad. It was dribbled all down the aisle, smelled horrible. There was a vanilla scented disinfectant used on it, which only made it smell like vanilla shit. After the airplane landed, it was thoroughly cleaned. But Delta deemed it a medical issue. They came out and said, our team worked as quickly and as safely as possible to thoroughly clean the plane and get our customers to their final destination. We sincerely apologize to our customers for the delay and inconvenience on their travel plans.
Okay, well, let's talk about some of the comments on this shitty situation on TikTok on a video. So I always go through and read the comments, and somebody said, how does this happen? Can that person be arrested for negligence? It seems like a crime to shit everywhere in public like that. What the F? And then everyone went and let them have it. They said, oh my God, you sound like an ignorant POS. And then somebody said, as everyone wants to know like what they ate. Some people have medical disease. People think it's Crohn's. Everyone's like really, it could be a broken colostomy bag. Is that how you say that? Which could happen. So there's like, but nobody really knows what they ate or what happened. So
but did we make it to the bathroom, or did we just like not make it, just like shit in the aisle?
No, they shit in the aisle. I can send you the video of the shit in the aisle. There's shit in the aisle. It's all over the aisle.
What's so wild is that your TikTok just like delivers these things to you.
It does. It's like, here you go. They know immediately that this is something that I will be excited about. Yeah, if you Google Delta diarrhea, you will see it. You'll be very glad you did. But yeah, it's all over the aisle tray. It's not like that. First of all, I would lock myself if I had explosive diarrhea. Even if the fasten seatbelt signs were on and there was massive turbulence, if I could not stop pooping, I would just lock myself in there the entire 9 hours. I would just be shitting away. There's no, I would not get out of the bathroom. My ass would not leave that little donut. There's no way.
Okay, so Connor has a friend that manages Love Field Airport, and I asked one time, I was like, what's the craziest thing you've ever seen? And he had a plane that came back because a passenger went to the restroom. They didn't fully make it in the toilet, and they had diarrhea that was seeping out of the lavatory onto the carpet. It was so bad, they had to replace the carpet on the plane.
I know
it was that potent.
So I read on this that they had to replace the carpet. They tore the carpet up and put it back down. But also, I kind of understand how this could happen.
What? How?
Because
Stephanie reads this and is like, yeah, that's wrong.
Have you ever been sitting in coach and then there's like 5 people in a line to go to the bathroom and then you have to wait? I mean, if you have like a stomach virus and you cannot hold it for 3 to 5 minutes.
It's very simple. It's like, are you peeing or pooping? All right, you're back of the line. Peeing or pooping? Back of the line. If it's a pee,
but if you're like
wait.
having to wait and you can't wait.
Grab a water bottle. I gotta go.
Then what do you do if you have to wait in line? Because that's the thing.
I would say either I'm shitting or we're turning around.
Like, there's only 2 shitters.
I mean, I don't know.
I totally get why
this is a very reasonable thing that could happen.
I think there were probably 5 people in line to the bathroom. This is a very polite person with a stomach bug. They didn't want, it just got away from them.
But the person next to her sleeping, she's like, I'm in the middle seat. I don't want to bother them. I'm just going to do it right here.
It just started happening. Yes. There are times when, I mean, it's kind of like throwing up. You can only hold it for so long.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So I see. I totally empathize for this person.
Okay. Have you dived into this whole Ruby Frank thing?
No, but I know you're going to dive in for me. You tell me a little bit.
Okay, so Ruby Frank is a mom that has a YouTube channel. Her YouTube channel is called 8 Passengers. She was arrested for abuse charges. So I've seen this this is not on your TikTok? How is the Delta diarrhea on your TikTok and not this? This is all over my TikTok feed. I swear there's one person at TikTok dedicated to your feed and they're like, oh, send it to her.
No, I get weird stuff. I love it.
So she was arrested on 2 counts of aggravated child abuse last Wednesday after police found her malnourished children with open wounds and duct tape around their arms. She duct taped her kids, like handcuffed them.
Oh,
so
shit.
In some of her videos, you can kind of see like the signs of abuse, but one of the things she would say to her kids, I mean, fairly frequently enough to where like TikTok made a compilation about it, is that like they would lose their dinner privileges or their eating privileges if they didn't do X, Y, or Z.
Wait, she did that in a TikTok?
Yeah, like in her YouTube videos.
Oh, is she a YouTube or a TikTok
Yeah, no,
person?
she's a YouTuber.
Okay.
TikTok's just going wild with this.
Okay.
So the neighbors had called the police multiple times. Eventually CPS came, and then one of the neighbors did an interview and said they fully expected the police to pull out body bags. Like, thought that she was like that wackadoodle, that this was going to happen. So she has 8 kids. They've had this YouTube channel since 2015.
Did you deep dive? Like, how many people follow her on this YouTube channel?
2.3 million.
Holy Jesus.
A lot. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think she's posted bond, but the internet hates her.
Well, obviously. That's insane. First of all, if you want to do social media, that's fine, but don't force your kids, especially YouTube videos. That's insane.
Yeah.
And don't starve them.
This was the other thing. They have a 15-year-old, and he lost his privileges to have a bedroom.
What?
For 7 months.
For not wanting to be on their YouTube channel?
I don't know what the circumstances were, but I just know that he was not allowed. And like this was in a YouTube video that she posted. He was not allowed to go in his bedroom for 7 months.
That's insane. I mean, Chance gets annoyed with me if I tag him and stuff because he's like, Mom, I don't want to be notified every time somebody comments on this picture of us.
There was another situation where like she would make her kids make themselves lunch. And the teacher called her after so many times of like the kid not having lunch, say, hey, would you mind bringing so-and-so lunch? She said, no, I won't. Like it's their job to make it. If they don't bring it or if they don't make it, they're not getting lunch.
That's insane. Okay, that lady should have been called a long time ago.
Yeah.
No, you hear about things like this, like especially I feel like in the YouTube community, there was another lady, she was on my TikTok page, so I can't believe this one didn't make it. And she was a big YouTube star. And I looked her up on Instagram and she still has like, I think 1.3 million followers on Instagram. And she's on TikTok, all the social media things. But she was at a park and she has 3 kids. One of them's really young. They're all pretty young, but one of them was like a year and a half, maybe 2 years old. And these people at the park, I don't even know this girl. That's how much I do not pay attention to YouTube famous people. But she was married to this guy. They had a YouTube channel about their like little family and life. And then they got divorced. So now she's a single mom. And she kind of went, her brother was like on like some big Disney show for a hot minute.
Who was this?
And anyways, but she has a big following. So she pulls out the park. Well, people see her like put a blanket down by the road, and then she goes into the like forest area and lays down on this blanket, taking selfies of herself and like literally paying no attention to her children, who are all by a pretty busy area. And the kids are getting close to the road. One kid, I think her almost 2-year-old's crawling on top of the van. Anyways, the police get called. People are taking pictures. This was all over TikTok. But I think a lot of these people who are in like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, famous, like all these mom bloggers, they put their kids in really bad situations to keep this thing going.
Do you think they get so wrapped up in portraying this perfect life that they forget to like live an actual functional life?
I think so. Also, whenever that's where your money comes from and you're so wrapped up in like paying, if your only revenue is this fake world you created, then constantly your whole life, your kid's whole life, all you're thinking of is we have to put more out, we have to put more out, we have to keep going.
Yeah.
And I think it can be a very traumatic thing, especially for kids. I don't know, YouTube is just, it's kind of, it's kind of weird. But she had to put like an apology thing out. It's on Instagram or it's on TikTok if you want to find it. Figure out who this lady is. But there's like multiple people. I feel like I hear about this a lot of people, especially in that YouTube world, who it's very toxic.
Yeah, well,
children.
Especially when you put your whole family, like these like family channels.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Because I think whenever kids are young, whenever you have a baby, even a toddler, they'll go along with pretty much anything.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, if you have a 12, 13, 14-year-old, I know because I have a 12 and 14-year-old, they are not going to want to be a part of that. So then where are you going to do your money if your whole... And also the people whose kids are like 14, 16 years old and still like really gung-ho about that, they're kind of weird. Sometimes like there's not many 14, 16-year-old kids are going to be like, yes, let's do our family YouTube channel on my time out of school. So I just think it's a tough way to earn a living for a long period of time.
I agree. This podcast is brought to you by BetterHelp.
Okay, so you know that I have anxiety over sometimes weird stuff. That plain anxiety is a true thing. I don't get anxiety over much, but bathroom stuff I do. Because I think I always have to go potty and it stresses me out. Like I never want to be needing to go without a toilet. So like I get anxiety over kind of strange things. It's something I am working on.
I agree with that.
Yes. So something I'm working on. So that Delta flight like kind of stressed me out. I had to sit with it and I'm like, wait, that wasn't me. That was someone else. Let it go.
What?
I get so stressed out for people.
You sat on the toilet and you said, Stephanie, let it go. Let it go, Stephanie. Let it go.
Just don't take it on as your own. It's not going to happen to you. Do you ever think?
Do you not read the news because you like spun? Like,
yes.
You do.
It will stress me out.
Does.
Like if I see things happen to other people, I'm like, oh my gosh.
You are like an anxiety sponge.
New fear unlocked. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Like
I get that.
the other day, I was watching a TikTok and there was this huge snake crawling from one house to another in Australia. I don't even live in Australia, and it stressed me out. I was like, oh no, I have to sell. I was like thinking about what I would do. I would definitely sell my house. Then you'd have to disclose it. Like it would. Yeah. So I'm always that person. So I have to be really careful of what I.
And that was her day. She spent the whole day figuring out what she'd do with that snake.
Yeah, like I'm like, I want to be prepared. I want to be 100% prepared. So my therapist, I feel like a lot of times probably sits there like, oh my gosh, girl, you like don't need to watch the news or like get on social. You just need to live your life, do carpool and go home, because I do get really stressed out. But I am that person that's everything is a sponge. Like if somebody's dealing with something, I don't even know the person, I will take it on, stress out for them. And that is something that I have been working on a lot this year, is like keeping that like invisible bubble around you where you can feel bad for people and have empathy, but not make it your problem.
Yep. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You just fill out a brief questionnaire, you get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge.
Get a break from your thoughts with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/weeklydose today to get 10% off of your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/weeklydose.
Okay, so this next situation, this just makes me like sad and just, it's sad. So Corey Bierman filed paperwork this past week, basically asking a judge to waive Kim's rights for him to sell their house. He's saying, we have to sell this house. Their whole deal was they did not have Jason Aldean buy this house. That was like the rumor for a while that Jason Aldean came and like bought it and saved it.
I think that's because Kim
they were at his concert.
Yeah, they were at the concert.
Which like was so far fetched, but good shot. So basically, they struck a deal. If they made 3 payments, their foreclosure whatever went to the end of their loan, which is like a pretty normal thing to like strike a deal with the bank. So they made their 3 payments, but Croy is like, I can't make any more. And Kim is refusing to let the house be sold. And so he filed a motion. This is like same time he filed for divorce, basically saying that we will not be able to pay the water or the light bill if we do not sell this house. And Kim is selling her designer bags and her wigs online, but it's just to fund this lavish, dreamy lifestyle that she has. And it's not paying the bills, nor is it paying any of our debt. I need help to sell this house because she won't let me. And she is in LA right now, which the thought that she paid for a flight and she's walking through the airport with a $5 smoothie really stressed me out. But gosh. She's in LA and the paparazzi was like, what do you think of Corey trying to sell your house? And she was like, don't get confused. I hold the purse strings here. It was my idea. And it was like, no, because then it would be for sale. Like he filed a motion for you to not have rights to sell the house. It's just sad.
Their thing stresses me out.
It stresses me out too. And he's requesting separate residences. Like that they sell the house, they pay their debt, and he wants the money put in an escrow account to where she can't then take it and gamble it. He's like, that money when that house sells needs to be in an account that neither one of us can touch.
Because
he's afraid that she will go spend it.
Yeah, I don't know. Their situation just makes me so sad. I don't even have anything to add anymore because but every time we talk about it, I'm like, I do think they need to get a divorce. I think they need to have very separate assets. They need to sell the house and live in something that's, reasonable. And I do think it's going to be a hard fall to live and have everything that you want, have Rolls Royce cars, all that stuff, than to not have it. Maybe it doesn't feel good and maybe it makes, but at some point you have to start from the bottom and work your way back up again. And you can't hold on to something that's not there anymore.
I'm just curious to see where she is in a year, because it's like we are at the tail end of us like faking. This has been going on for almost a year. Their foreclosure happened almost a year ago. Like this is a long time. So the fact they haven't sold it yet, it's kind of crazy. The house is worth like $3.5 million, which is great. That would basically cover the loan on the house plus their debt to the IRS, which is, if you know anything about bankruptcy, you cannot get out of your IRS debt. Like tax debt, you will be paying or you go to jail. So it would cover that.
Let me ask you this, because I did hear also with all the people that we talked about in our last podcast, that didn't go to jail, the doctors, that they cannot kick you out of your house if you file bankruptcy. Like your homestead, these doctors are living in like these millions and millions of dollars
if you're making your payment.
If you're, is that what it is? If you're making your payment. I don't know anything about it.
But if you're not making your home payment, so if you file bankruptcy for like credit card debt and other stuff, they cannot seize your house as an asset. But if you're not making your payment, they will foreclose on your house.
Oh my gosh.
Also, so this is, I learned this in real estate school, is that if your basically first priority is your property taxes, well, any taxes you owe is first priority. Your HOA, if you don't pay your HOA, the HOA can foreclose your house and just like take it. You can, your HOA might be, $3,000 a year and they'll take the whole thing because you didn't pay that. So your homestead is exempt as long as you're up to date on it. But if you're not, it's gone.
Well, I still feel like her and the girls should try to get a show. But you know what? I'm going to go even further. Croy, if you're listening, you should try to get your own show about like divorce or something, a book or something. There has to be a way for people to make money. I cannot imagine her and her daughters not able to make any type of money on like, even partnerships and stuff. There's 3 of them. They have 1 million+ followers each.
Yeah.
So you need a good manager or you need to find a way to make money. I think that it would be a very interesting TV show, like if they're honest though. Yep. It's not, I think that's kind of the thing. If you really want to be honest and show how you work yourself out of a situation, I think that's very interesting. But I feel bad for them. I know that, obviously spending got them in this mess, but I still feel bad for anybody who's that would stress me out. I would not be sleeping at night. I would like age 10 years.
Well, and that's Croy's whole thing is she's just like having a relaxing week in LA. Like she's at Craig's, she's at all these expensive restaurants, an expensive hotel.
Well, probably it's stressing him out because they're still combined financially as well. So
yeah, but he's like, we have to pay the electric bill.
Yeah.
And Kim's over here joking that Brielle paid it. Like, what?
It's that whole thing now is just so sad.
Also, I predicted this a while ago. So Britney is now saying that she suspects that Sam was feeding information to the conservatorship in exchange for money. I have said all along that he was a plant, and I 1000% believe that.
Well, I definitely think there was something weird with the relationship and the pure fact that like she, first of all, if you really love somebody, you will help them in life. And she was looking like a real hot mess on
brush her
online
hair.
And just, you want the best for the person that you love and you want to help them out and not let them look like they're not okay.
Yeah.
And he looked very put together and she looked like a little hot mess. And I think if you really love somebody, you will definitely want them to look as good as possible for, because you care about them. But the relationship has never really made a lot of sense to me. Also, like he didn't put pictures up of her when they got married until people started saying things.
Or ever.
Yes.
He's never posted a picture of her.
But I'm actually a little worried about Britney. Not like we're friends or anything, but I think that she's very isolated. She doesn't really have family. She doesn't have friends around her. She can't go anywhere or meet anybody. And I do think that she deals with some mental health issues, and to be isolated and alone and dealing with very deep things mentally is kind of scary. It really makes she makes me nervous.
You know who my favorite person to follow on TikTok is?
Who?
Northwest.
Oh, really?
The way she roasts Kim is hysterical. Oh my gosh, you have to go follow her on TikTok.
Okay,
it is the funniest thing. Like she'll use like old Keeping the Kardashians like sound bites, or like it's just, you have to go follow her. It's very interesting. Have you found anything disturbing on your TikTok lately? Also, how many people did you send that video to of that lady getting her cooter waxed?
I think 5 people asked me for it, and I sent it to all 5 people. If you still would like it, I do have it. I sent it to Trey.
It's shockingly still up.
Oh my God! Somebody said, "Is this you?" on our Instagram account. They were like, "So and so, is this you?" And they said, "Yes, it is."
What?
Do you not ever read our responses?
Wait, I missed that one.
Yes. If you would like to get your cooter waxed, you can go to...
Wait, this is their business?
Yes! Somebody knew exactly who we were talking to. Wait, it's on...
Oh, no.
ES account, Trey.
That's funny.
Hold on, I'll tell you. Wax or sugar me, could this have been your TikTok? And they said, LMAO, that was me. And then you responded with laughing face emojis.
Oh, then I didn't read it. Oh my gosh. Yes. Wait, that's hysterical.
Yeah, so that is them. So they know about my algorithm. You're welcome. So I'm trying to think. I went into like a Lisa Turtle deep dive last night.
What?
It was like Lisa Turtle, like what happened to her.
Who's
like
that?
She like Saved by the Bell.
Oh.
I went into that last night. What else? I get a lot of like really weird. Oh, this one guy that was at Taylor Swift concert and he was like a bodyguard.
Oh, he was fired?
He got fired. That came up. What? I feel like a lot of my stuff's real dumb. Another cooter waxing one, but it wasn't as detailed as the one that I showed you earlier. I save a bunch of things. I used to send them to Trey, but then I don't know if he opens them or not. So I'm like, screw it. I'm not. I really honestly, there's the poop in the in the hallway and the aisleway. I really spent a lot of time on the Delta diarrhea.
Ew.
We were talking about that.
Wow, it's everywhere.
Yeah, it is everywhere.
Oh my gosh, it's splashed up on their seat.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. So but that's really.
I need the Delta diarrhea person to like come out, just like the person that like got off the plane. They said someone wasn't real. I need this person to like. I need them on Good Morning America.
Yes. Oh, did I send you the poop one? After the Delta diarrhea, you could see like different poops and what it says about you.
Here's the problem with me opening your TikToks is then my TikTok thinks this is stuff I like. So then our feeds start to look the same. And I'm like, oh God. And I just can't risk it. So I usually have to wait until I get to my computer. Then I open a private tab and then I watch it.
Are you serious?
Yes. Otherwise, because the cooter video, it was somehow like stuck. Like on my computer, whenever I open like Safari, there's like different tabs, like shows links that were sent to me. And this lady's cooter was sitting there for 3 days. And I had to figure out how to delete it. I had to ask someone else in the office, like, how do I get rid of this? This is not porn. This is a TikTok that Stephanie sent to me, and I don't know how to get rid of it. It haunted me.
Okay, I sent this to Trey. I've been seeing it online a lot in the Bravo accounts, but I'm so sad. I love Lindsay Hubbard. I have met her numerous times. She's super nice. I've never met Carl, her ex-fiance, but yes. So
they're no longer engaged.
Yeah, well, I hear that he broke it off on camera, and from what the rumors are, it kind of, yes. Like,
I didn't think it was on camera.
So from what I heard, from what I read, unless I'm wrong, I think it was on camera, and I think she was a little blindsided. You've been engaged. I have had an engagement that did not happen. Like that, I was engaged, and then we broke it off, and it was the most devastating.
But were you blindsided? Like, how blindsided are you when your engagement doesn't like?
I think even if you're so even if you're having problems with the person, there's still like a commitment level that you have. Like, okay, we're gonna do this. It's almost like being married. You can have problems in a marriage, and you're like, okay, but we're committed. We're working through this. So maybe even though there were problems or they fought, I don't think that. She probably thought that he was going to call off an engagement, especially if he did it on camera. That's tough. I mean, that's a tough blow. Yeah. Whenever mine was called off, right? We were not really getting along that well. But I think also you're planning a wedding. Everything's heightened. It's like financially stressful. It's a lot. There's a lot. You're trying to combine 2 lives into one. And mine happened at a time when my grandmother had a heart attack. And then, so I had my grandma who was in the hospital. Sorry. My grandmother who was in the hospital, very, very sick, a fiance who, we had kind of ended things. I think I was maybe a little too scared to end things. And at the end of the day, I'm so glad it didn't happen. But I could not get out of bed for probably a month. Like, it was the most devastating thing. Also, it's embarrassing. You have all these people that you've asked to be in your wedding. And there's and
then add cameras on top of that.
Yeah, and then you add cameras on top of it. I feel so bad for her because as somebody who's been through a failed engagement before, everyone's so excited for you. It's almost like, whenever you're pregnant, everyone, like, I didn't tell people I was pregnant with Cruz for the first 2.5, 3 months, because with Chance, I realized that everybody's always like, asking when's the baby due? How far along are you? And it constantly reminded you of like, it's like was stressful. I'm like, oh my God, I'm pregnant forever. So if I could keep it to myself, then, and also if something happens to your pregnancy, people aren't asking you and like reminding you of something that you've lost.
Like maybe there were issues and she didn't realize how big of a deal they were to him.
You know, I probably, I mean, I think probably looking back, if she were listening, I would say looking back, 5 years on the road, you're going to look back and be so glad this didn't happen. If he's not the person for you, I think everything in life really does happen for a reason. And sometimes you don't see it at the moment. Whenever my engagement ended, I was so devastated. Like I said, I couldn't get out of bed. I was in such a deep depression. You know what? Like probably 4 or 5 months later, I was at a bar with this new guy I was dating, and my ex came in and he was like crying, telling me he wanted to get back with me. He was so sad and lonely. And I was like, well, of course you are.
Beat it, Buster.
Leave me alone. We're not getting back together. But like, it's hard. I feel bad for her. And I think if he did it on camera, I know that they're doing a reality show, but like I think the right thing to do would be to tell her off camera in a personal way and then pick up the pieces on camera.
Yeah, job security though, Maybe you're not engaged, but you have a job.
What's the most important thing? A person that you love. Like even if you're not engaged to them anymore, there should still be love in your heart for them, right? To do the right thing and not humiliate them.
Tell them off camera and be like, hey, let's fake this on camera. Because we're gonna stay employed.
At least let the person know. But it's got to be really hard. Like also, I think it was close enough to the wedding to where people can't get there. They can't cancel their rooms. Yeah. So everything's kind of. Yeah, it's a tricky situation.
I remember there was a time before my wedding when Zach picked me up from a little Sunday fun day at Mr. He didn't want to go. And I said, take me to Chick-fil-A. And he said, no. And I said, are you my person? Is this right for me? I still married him. But,
yeah, that's good.
There was like that like moment of like, I don't know. But
did you ever have a doubt?
Just that time when I was drunk and he wouldn't give me Chick-fil-A.
But other than that,
Other than that?
Yeah. No, okay.
And then I was like, maybe I'm the problem.
No, you are 100%. You could have asked me and I would have told you 100% you are the problem. Yes.
Yeah.
Always, Trey. Always. Yeah. But anyway, okay.
Well, I feel bad for them. That's sad.
I know, right?
Yeah, especially so publicly.
Thank you guys so much for listening and supporting. You can follow me at Steph Holman on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.
You can follow me at Trey_Stewart. You can follow our podcast at BS the Podcast. Also, you can watch us on YouTube at Weekly Dose of BS. I forgot. Bye.
Yay Networks.